will be no rollback this morning. I did not come back to the model table yesterday afternoon or evening and do anything really profound. At least nothing that I videoed. Now, what I am going to do today, and oh my goodness, I just glanced over at my screen. Look at the sunrise. That you know, I didn't know it had changed that quickly. You know, about 5 minutes ago I looked at it and it was pretty bland, you might say, but right now it is. You know what? That's worth doing something with. Maybe at the end of this video I'll do it. Yeah. Anyway, let's get on with this. That is almost breathtaking. Okay, enough about that. So what's with this G-sprue? If you will remember, we put them up on the wall. And what I plan to do here is use this to make up, you might say, jigs for each one of these larger ladders, because as you know, only one side of this will be visible. One side of this is going to be up against, like, let's say my hand here is the side of the ship. Well, this will be mounted up against the side of the ship here, and you're not going to see this side. So you'll see what I've got in mind here once I get going on it. At least that's the plan for today. Also, about painting these copper balls so they look like copper instead of gold, I've decided to just leave them the way they are. They are going to be sort of hidden inside these little cages here anyway, which I'm trying to be careful not to touch because I've cleaned them all up and I don't want to be getting grease from my fingers on them. So I'm not going to be painting these because, as at least 2 viewers drew to my attention, and I did know this, if you have a copper, you know, they used to use copper sometimes on for roofing. Well, it turns green, as one of the viewers said, a sort of a turquoise color. And in fact, a lot like this cloth. That's the kind of green it goes. I've actually seen that. I remember here in Winnipeg, we had our planetarium was had a copper roof. It was sort of a dome-shaped thing. And when it was brand new, I remember when it was brand new, it looked really nice. It was in that beautiful golden bronze coppery color. And as the years went by, it turned green. Yeah, so, but now that goes back a long time ago. That was back in the 60s, but I still remember it very well. So let's get on here. I'm going to just cut this up and, yeah. If you will remember, among other things, we bought fresh carrots yesterday. And last night around 5:25 in the afternoon, I put them out. And you're going to notice how dark it is already. Well, the sun was going down already at about 4 o'clock yesterday. Yeah, it gets dark really early here in Winnipeg in the wintertime. I don't think it's going to change a whole lot between now and the shortest day of the year, but it gets dark really early. Now, I didn't calculate it out here, but approximately 5 minutes after I put the carrots out, I notice a rabbit has run across the top of the screen there, but it doesn't come over to where the carrots are. And it takes quite a while before a rabbit, hops by. But it's kind of hops right by. It doesn't pay a whole lot of attention to the carrots, at least seemingly. Now, maybe it did get wind of them and thought, I'm going to come back later. Which it did, but much later. Now, maybe it was a different rabbit too. They all look alike. So here we have our cute, cuddly little bunny sitting munching away with its back to us. Now, who can remember why it is that we moved the carrot spot to the backyard instead of on the patio in the front, where it would have been a lot more convenient? Well, let me refresh your memory. Okay now, more time wasted. Well, I guess it all depends on how you look at it, right? Maybe I'll use these rubber-tipped ones here. The part that grabs on is just a little bit larger in area. Now here's my thinking. This side that I'm touching right now is going to be on the outside. Now if I turn this over very, very carefully, now you can see that there's the opening here. This is going to go against the side of the ship, because you'll come up the ladder, and then you'll step off of this platform onto the ship, onto that nameplate that Mark spotted. Okay, so what I'm thinking of doing is taking these things and now, this is strictly for painting now, to make it easier to paint. Maybe I didn't make that clear. In fact, I know I didn't, now that I think about it. So what I'm thinking of doing is gluing it onto the edge here of this little tab. It sort of sticks out. And I know that I'm going to use CA glue because it'll break off. I originally had thought, why don't I just solder a little wire onto each one? But then I realized afterwards it's pretty hard to, break the solder off, whereas with CA glue, that's the problem with CA glue over top of solder. Anyway, so then when I've got this piece glued on the side here, I can, if I want to, put it in the rotator and turn it around. I don't know if I'll do that or not. We'll see when we get to that place. But I can paint almost everywhere except where this part here is glued on. And then later, if I want to, I can just sort of touch it up. But like I say, it's going to be against the side of the ship anyway, and nobody's going to see that it is not painted there. Now, I was thinking of using this instant glue here to sort of expedite things. However, excuse me, my voice is starting to go on me again. However, it is so runny that I'm afraid it could run right down into the treads on this thing. So I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to use the medium here, and just with a toothpick or maybe the needle adapter that I made up back when we were doing the Bismarck. You know, I don't want to take a chance that I might put too much on by just going like that. I mean, that everybody's going to think, well, why don't you just do that? Well, it's hard to meter it out, especially with this one here, because it's been cut off several times and it's shorter. Now, mind you, I probably got about 85, 90 of these things left. I could easily put another one on. But I can see here that I'm going to have to raise this thing up so that it will be about that high. In other words, raise it up about ½ an inch. I'll think of something here. Okay, this is almost 3/4 of an inch, but it might work out. I'm just going to reposition everything here. Now, I'm not running everything in slow motion. I'm just moving very, very carefully here because I'm not as agile as I used to be. Okay, I think that'll work. I wonder if I could touch the BSI instant glue on there. Would it wick its way underneath, or is it going to run down? Should we take a chance and see what happens here? It'll glue awful fast. Maybe I'll put the macro lens on. Okay, let's give it a try. If worst comes to worst, I can always, clean it off in acetone and start all over again and waste more time, right? Now, this is one of those situations where depth of field is not that important. I want it as sharp as possible where the rubber meets the road, if you know what I mean. In other words, where the plastic is touching the photo etch stringer. Now, it's going to take me a minute here to get my glue bottle ready, but I can always cut out the dead spots. Oh, so what I was going to say there, because sharpness is more important, I don't have this thing stopped all the way down to F57 like I usually do. I think I'm at about F20 or something. Okay, now I would think in about 30 seconds that should be cured to the place where if I pick it up it's going to stay together. Now once again you can see what happened a lot better than I can. Well, I'm guessing about 30 seconds has passed here. Okay. You know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do that to the other three. I don't think I need to reinforce it. I think if I'm careful, it should stay on there. Okay, we'll let these properly cure now. Then we'll put them on the rotator, slip on the macro lens, and we'll have a nice close look. But you know what, that's going to have to be in probably tomorrow's rollback. Yeah, it's getting kind of late here. What do we got? 3 o'clock almost. Okay, I've been maybe taking a bit of a chance here that YouTube is going to be uploading my video fast again today. They've been doing really good all week. Like I mentioned, they're probably changed the way they're doing things. Now, about yesterday's episode where I screwed up on the sound, I'm sorry about that, but that's the way it goes. Remember I had said that I don't delete my program just in case I have to redo something? Well, wasn't it ironic? The very next day I had to do that, and that was not planned. Anyway, thanks for watching everybody, and all being well, We'll be seeing you tomorrow.